quilters, and welcome back to my channel, Pages and Stitches. That's spelled pages, the number 3 stitches, both here and on Instagram. My name is Kelly, and I'm very excited to be sharing my October update with you today. Today is Wednesday, November 1st, and so I'm bringing you my Quilters Corner number 24, which is, like I said, the October wrap up for all things quilting I did for this last month. I first want to start off by saying a massive thank you to everybody who's here and clicked on the video and is giving my channel a try. To those of you who come back regularly, thank you so much. I truly appreciate your friendship and your continued viewership. I'm so appreciative of the time that you spend in your day watching my little passion project here on YouTube. If you found me from FlossTube, hello, welcome. I hope you like my Quilters Corner updates as much as you hopefully do the FlossTubes. I have already posted my October update for FlossTube that's already on the channel, so if you're a cross-stitcher as well and you have not yet watched that, you're welcome to go watch that too. But regardless, welcome. Thank you for being here. If you're new, please feel free to hit like, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me your thoughts, tell me your opinions. I love getting the opinions of my viewers because oftentimes you guys inspire me with ideas that I had never even heard of. So if you see a project on the wall that you're curious about and you have a thought, or if I mention something I'm working on and you've done it, or you know another way to do it than what I'm doing, please share. I love the community that we've created here, and the sharing back and forth has really inspired me on several occasions, and I just love interacting with you guys as well in the comments here as well as on Instagram. I've got some lovely people who have sent me emails and Instagram messages of support, and then questions about quilting, which I just am more than happy to share because I love this craft, and I certainly want to see it grow on YouTube. Myself and a few other creators started making these kinds of vlog style quilting videos to mimic our FlossTube videos because there was a deficit of quilting content that wasn't a tutorial of some sort. So yeah, that's what we're here to do today, is just talk quilting. So come along. What do you guys think of my hair? Like, I put it up to do space buns today, like this. And then I just kind of was feeling the pigtails, right? Feeling very Harley Quinn today. I was probably like in the single digits the last time I had my hair done like this, but I don't know, I'm gonna go with it. As per usual, we are gonna start off with a reading update. If you are new here, the Pages and Stitches is representative of my third passion, which is reading. So I like to share the books that I've read for the last month. Just a quick little walkthrough. If you've already seen the FlossTube video, skip past this part, it's the same books. The first one on the docket was Things We Left Behind by Lucy Score. This was number 3 in her Knock 'Em Out series. Very cute, very fun and sweet. And if you like a rom-com style romance, you'll love Lucy Score. The next one I read was A Curse of Queens by Amanda Bouchet. This is number 4. I think, so she has, this series was, like, there was a trilogy, it's actually here on the back. This trilogy came out first, and I read it years ago. So I don't know if, like, the fans were like, keep going, and so that's why she wrote number 4, or if she actually intended to continue the series. But this first trilogy is about, like, the main couple, and then this book is about 2 like side characters that everybody loved. So I think she's probably going to keep going because there's more characters to fall in love with. But if you like a fantasy that is heavily based in Greek mythology, you might like this one. The last thing I read this month was Leap of Faith by Cameron Hamilton and Lauren Speed. These two are a couple that met and married on the reality dating show Love is Blind on Netflix, which is so good. If you don't watch that show, I'm telling you, you're missing out. It is like, I'm telling you, they put crack cocaine in that show, because I thought the premise was so stupid. And I was like, why would anybody, that's dumb. Why would anybody do that? And then my best friends made me watch the first episode back in 2020. And by the end of the episode, I was standing on the couch screaming like, oh my God, this person's dating this person and this person has to fall in love with this person. And we got to find out what happens with this couple. And there's 5 seasons out now. I've watched every single one of them. I'm just addicted. And if any of you watch Love is Blind, tell me, because I need to know if you're as ravenous about it as I am. Regardless, they wrote a book about their experience and it's really, really good. Okay, so before we dive into the quilting, which as you can see, I did quite a bit of, I did want to mention, so this weekend is the International Quilt Festival, the annual International Quilt Festival in Houston, Texas, which I go to every year. I live just a little bit outside of Houston, and I used to live in Houston. So I've just gone every year. Like, it didn't even occur to me until adulthood that all cities don't have an International Quilt Festival, which is such like a privileged point of view, but all that to say, it's happening this coming weekend. I will be going on November 4th, which is Saturday, I think. Whatever date Saturday is, that's when I'm going. So I will certainly do what I did last year. I'll get some pictures. I'll get some footage of the event. I'll show you, like the grand prize winners and all that. If you're unfamiliar, the International Quilt Festival in Houston is hosted in the George R. Brown Convention Center, which is a massive convention center. And on one half of the first floor is vendors and shops, mostly quilt shops, but also like other crafty stuff. There's usually doll making, cross stitching, clothing, jewelry making, anything and everything that is like sort of quilting adjacent is there. And then on the other side of the convention center is the competition, the quilt show itself with all the quilts that have been entered. And then right in the front when you walk in is the big grand prize winners and like the runners up and like the winners of the other separate categories. And they're always so gorgeous and so like intricate and just masterpieces. And usually the winners, the quilters of the winning quilts are there at some point, like giving interviews and talking about their process and kind of showing everything off. Everything looks very museum because like all the quilts are hung on black curtains, and then the people showing them have the white gloves on and they're turning the quilts back and forth so you can see the front and back. It's just so fun. And there's categories, there's like abstract quilts and landscape quilts and portraits and hand piecing and yada, yada, yada. Like it just, whatever you can think of, it's there. So Mom and I are going, we're going to make a day of it. We usually have to like park it in some chairs for a while because our feet hurt from all the walking, and our back hurts from all the shopping and the stuff going in our backpacks. So anyways, I will be going to that. So if you're curious about that at all, come back for my November update, because that's when I'll post all my footage and stuff that I take of the festival this weekend. Okay, so today I think is actually going to be kind of a modest update. The majority of the work that I did this month was spent on Cocktail Hour behind me, which I'll give you some close-ups of. And then I did a little bit of work on 2 other whips, but that was it. This one took a lot of focus because there's a lot of, I don't know if you can tell, but up here especially, there's a lot of like teeny tiny pieces. There's little pieces all over. So getting it all cut out and pieced together, and I mentioned before that I'm kind of improvising the layout as I go in terms of where each fat quarter print is in the quilt. And then of course I'm picking the hair colors and the skin colors at the same time, like nothing's pre-planned. So what I'm trying to say is that was a little bit time consuming, because rather than just doing the next row of girls kind of like I intended, I was like, I'm gonna finish them. They're still not all pieced together, but I finished each individual lady. So since we're already talking about it, obviously this will be the first WIP we go over. This is Cocktail Hour, which is a free pattern from tildasworld.com. I will of course have that link down below, and then I'll insert a picture here of what her version looks like. The one that I printed off is in black and white, so you know. She of course made it with her own fabric, Tilda fabric. She has a blue and mustard version as well as a pink and green version. I went a different direction and I used Fluent, which is a line by my favorite fabric designer, which is Anna Maria Horner. I love her so much. She's an idol of mine, and if I ever met her, I would cry. But the good news is all the girls are done. So all I have to do is get this piece together and then get the column sewed together, and then she's ready to go in the closet for whenever my next long arm appointment is. Actually, that's not true. I have Bauhaus up next and then this one. Whatever. So I'm gonna tilt you down so you can see, and then ignore my stacks of quilts on the floor. But so I finished the bottom two girls for all the columns. I think that's where I was last time. I was mistaken last time as well, because I originally thought these were 4 girls tall, and I was wrong. It's 5. So I finished the last 14 girls, and now all of my columns are complete. And then, yeah, I did want to show you. So at the bottom, there's these little short girls where their little dresses are cut off, because at the top, right, there's, ooh. See, there's chunks of fabric that are just dress and no head attached to it because they're staggered. So at the bottom, we got little short ladies. Just bring it in close. Please ignore the fact that these don't match. That's, we're gonna call that intentional. So she's ready to be put together, which I will be doing this next month, is getting all of this piece together so she can come down off the wall. When I go to the Quilt Festival, I will be on the hunt for backing fabric. Of course, I'm gonna do an Anna Maria Horner print, but I just don't know which one yet. So I'm sure she'll be her fabric will be all over that festival. So I will find a print and make a backing, and then it'll be ready to be completed. Okay, so I've moved the camera over because I want to show you this quilt now. The next WIP I worked on is this pattern here. This is called Set Sail by Jaybird Quilts. And I am doing this different than how the pattern has it laid out. So as you can see, the diamonds there's different styles of them where they're half this way, half that way. There's the 4 corners, the stripes. And then there's diamonds that are just all like one big piece, and that's the only style of diamond that I'm doing. And each diamond it's not sashing, it has its own frame around it. So the reason why I'm doing that is because I am using this line by Melody Miller, which is another one of my favorite designers. She designs for Ruby Star, but her line is called Rise, and this line came out like 2 years ago, and I've just been sitting on the fabric because I couldn't find what pattern I wanted to use with it. So it's got these big prints in 3 different colorways. There's the pink one, there's a white one, and then there's a navy blue one, which I'll show you in a second. And then she also has these fabrics here, which are different colors of the spark print. So I got 3 coordinating colors for each of the 3 colorways, if that makes sense. So last time you saw this, I had just completed the pink colorway. Well, at least the first diamonds in the pink colorway. I'm gonna keep going until I'm out of fabric. I don't have like a set size in mind, which is the light pink frame, the hot pink frame, and then the dark orange frame. And then I started working this last month on the white colorways. So let me bring you in closer. So here is the 3 colors for the white colorway. We've got, and oh God, look at how sparkly. So we've got this sort of mustardy brown, and then this light blue, which also has a metallic print on it in the spark stars. And then we've got this orange. And there's 2 different styles of the larger prints. So there's this one that's all floral, and then this one that's got the snakes on it. And that's the same for the pink as well. And then I'll show you the navy here in a second. I said navy, I should just say blue. So here's the blue floral, and then the blue snakes, and then the 3 colors of spark that I got. So it's a white, a blue, and a blue. So these will be the 3 frames around these 2 prints. And currently I have them laid out kind of like organized together. Once I get this quilt, once I get Cocktail Hour off the wall, I can spread this one out because it's going to be just random. It's not going to be in any sort of like pattern. But it's going super easy because all you have to do is cut strips, and then I use my Super Sidekick ruler, which is this ruler here, which is designed by Jaybird Quilts. And you can use any sort of diamond ruler. Krista Moser for Creative Grids has one. I also have that ruler. I just got this one because it actually goes with the quilt pattern. Anyways, you cut strips and then lay this across your strip going this way, and then you can cut your angle and get diamonds out of it. And then for the frames, all you do is cut strips and then like log cabin it basically around the diamond itself. It's so easy. The last quilt that I worked on is my acid trip sampler. If you have no idea what the heck I'm talking about, what the heck an acid trip sampler is, I decided I wanted to do a sampler, but entirely in like brights and neons. And I was hunting and hunting for a sampler pattern that I wanted to do in that style. And the pattern that I ultimately settled on is this one here, which is called Christmas Potpourri. This is a pattern designed by an old quilt shop that no longer exists, that my mom did years and years and years ago, decades ago probably. And she loaned me the pattern, so now I'm doing it in neons. So I will insert a picture of what it looked like, or what it looks like all laid out, because obviously I don't have room for it on my design wall right now. And I'm gonna bring you in for a close-up of the next block that I did. So here is the next block, which is right below that top left corner. Nice and bright. So also I have to give a special shout out to Susan of Criminally Creative. I will tag her channel down below. She does cross stitching and quilting, but she does it all in one video. She went recently to the Queen City Stitch Retreat, which I also went to. Before I left, she sent me the nicest email that was like, hey, I have some fabric that I cut out for a quilt that I didn't end up making, and it's all super bright. Would you like it? You can use it in your acid trip sampler. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. And between that email and then the retreat itself, I'd forgotten that we had that interaction. And so she came up to me and just like plopped a baggie of a bunch of fabrics down on my table and introduced herself that way. And I was like, oh my God, this is like the best gift, because I totally forgot that it was coming. And I was just, Susan, I was so grateful for it, and I appreciate it so much. But also I wanted to show you that I used some of your fabric in this block. So I've got the black here in this little house block, and then down here in this little 1-inch checkerboard, I've got some of your orange and blues there. So they're going to be sprinkled in throughout this quilt, and I just love that because it's like I'll have a little bit of my YouTube friend, you know, in this special quilt. So let me step back here. Here's the quilt. This edge here is on the outside where, you know, all the half square triangle borders are. And then I'll bring in close. We got this sort of pinwheel looking kind of block. A couple of tulas, some more tulas over here, some tulas there. Actually, this one is Melody Miller. This is Rise. Tula. We love a Tula. Tula has been the main inspiration for this color palette because obviously she does a bunch of bright stuff. So there's Tulas all over this quilt, but I also have, you know, some Ruby Stars, various designers. This is a Cafe. So of course there's Cafe there. This is Ruby Star. Yeah, just a little bit of my faves all sprinkled throughout. So there we go. There's block number 4. Originally, the pattern was a block of the month, so there's 12 blocks in total, and then the patchy like piece border around the edge, and then it's finished. And so I'm just kind of doing 1 block a month, no rush. So what do you think? I think this block turns out great. Anytime, like, I'm just kind of, when I work on it, I just kind of work on it in little pieces, and I do try and kind of watch my colors and make sure my composition's good and nothing is, you know, like I don't have a bunch of green all on one side or whatever. But ultimately it is still kind of a surprise by the time I put it all together and cut it to size. So it's always like a nice little feeling to see it all completed because it's just an acid trip. It's what it is. So that's actually it in terms of whip progress, because like I said, most of my time was spent on getting this finished and getting it all cut out and pieced together. It is a little time consuming, but it's done. So I literally have just like the tiniest little bit of haul. I just have 1 fabric to show you. And then we'll move on to plans for next month. I've got a couple of new starts that I am intending to dig into now that this is finished. So we'll go over that and then we'll say goodbye. Oh, real quick, while I was at the Queen City Stitch Retreat, they do have freebie tables where people can leave stuff that they just want to give away and anybody can go up and grab anything. And I found this sticker on one of those tables. It says, "Any day spent quilting is a good day." And I just thought that was so cute. It says Quilters Club of America. And then it's kind of got like a quilted border around it. And I was like, oh, well, that's perfect. I'm going to take that. So I did. So I got this from a cross-stitching retreat, but it's about quilting. Okay, the fabric I want to show you, I have to give a little bit of backstory on. I follow a YouTube creator whose name is Lee. And her channel name is Stick, Strings, and Other Things. And she cross stitches and she knits mostly. She does a little bit of other stuff. She says she's trying to become more friendly with her sewing machine. But I was watching one of her recent updates and she held up a project bag that she had some knitting in. And I saw it and I was like, oh my God, I love that fabric on that bag. So I immediately went hunting for it. It's a spoon flower, excuse me. It's a spoon flower fabric. So you can order it there or you can order it on Amazon. I just found it on Amazon. So I went to that link there and you're going to die when you see it. It's so cute. It's mushroom butts. I got a yard of it. I got a full yard of the mushroom butts. I don't know what inspired this particular design. There is actually a complementary fabric that she had another project bag made out of, which is butterflies, and then the bodies have little butts. But this was the only one that I can find on Amazon. I love a mushroom. We know I love mushrooms. They're just so stinking cute. So I saw this fabric and I immediately was like, well, I will hunt you down. And I did. So I got a yard of this. The thing about spoon flower fabric is it's very canvasy in texture. Like you can quilt with it, of course. But but it's just got a stiffer pile to it. Like it's very canvasy and thick, which is fine. That doesn't bother me. I'm okay with thicker fabric. I don't really know what I'm gonna do with it yet, but you know for sure I don't need an excuse to buy fabric that I like, so I bought it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but it's gonna be stinking cute, whatever it is, because it's gonna have mushroom butts on it. So thank you so much, Lee, for inspiring me inadvertently. Like, she didn't even try to say like, look, I found this fabric. She just happened to hold up a bag that was made out of it, and I had to go hunt it down. So I will have this link down below. If it's still available on Amazon, I'll have that link there. If not, you can get it from Spoonflower, and I'll have that linked too. So that was actually it in terms of haul. Just that one little bit. I know that's not going to be the story next month, because I will have all the shopping I'm likely to do at the Quilt Festival. So I know for sure when I go, I'm going to have the back of this quilt in mind, and then I also would like to build up my batik stash, because I'm really thinking I might want to do a batik sampler soon, or you know, some pattern with batiks. I'm feeling batiki. And then I'm also looking to kind of flesh out my stash of patterns. I've got tons of Elizabeth Hartman, which is great because I do love her, but I do just want to have like some other designers, and like I am slowly building up my stash, but I kind of just want to like make it a little bit more robust, so that way whenever I go to do a project, I know that if I go to my stash, I can find something that works, rather than having to go online and hunt for something. You know what I mean? Also, I do have a friend that is pregnant, and she will be getting a baby quilt. She doesn't know that, of course, but I will be getting her a baby quilt made, which I wanted to mention because previously this project was intended to be a quilt as you go method, and then I changed my mind because I kind of decided since it's bigger, I wanted it done by my long armor. So I went ahead and pulled the quilting that I had already done on these 2 blocks. It's off now. But now that I'm gonna have a baby quilt in the works, I'll be doing quilts as you go on that. So I can demonstrate that process for those of you that were curious, but it'll be on a smaller and more manageable scale. Okay, plans, just real quick. I've got 2 new starts I'm planning before the end of the year. I will try to get to both of them before the end of November, but certainly before the end of the year. The first one we've already talked about, which is this pattern here. This is Stars Hollow by Missouri Star Quilt Company. You may remember I have purchased a fabric line to use on this particular pattern, which is this one here. This is called Moonlit Garden. So it's all like greens and peaches, and it's Luna moths and flowers, which is just so me and so perfect. And then the backing, the background fabric is like a peachy cream color instead of a plain white. So I'm gonna, once I get this off the wall, I'm gonna move everything over and I'll start cutting that one out so I can get it pieced and put some of that on the wall. And then the next one that I have set aside to start, I'm actually really excited to show you. So Moda had released a sampler pattern for their Bella Solids line. And when my mom used to work at the quilt shop before it closed down, she got this pattern from the vendor. I don't know if it's actually for sale, but she had the pattern and she gave it to me because I thought it was pretty. So if I can find it for sale, of course, I'll have it linked down below. The sampler that I'm talking about is this one here, which is called My Favorite Color is Moda. And so this is the sampler in this particular colorway, which is the cover colorway. They have it designed to sort of show off their Bella Solids line. So they have it in several colorways, and they tell you what the solids are for each of those colorways. I think they're all very pretty, but I'm not going to use Bella Solids. I'm going to use this other stash of fabric that I've built up and I've been collecting. And I think a fun sampler like this would be a great way to show it off. So let me show you all that fabric. For a while now, I've been kind of collecting this navy cream and gold in a sort of celestial style of prints. They're all different, you know, fabrics from different lines. Some of them it's Ruby Star, some of it's Juicy Juice, some of it's this, some of it's that. It's just a little bit like a mishmash, like a mishmash of a bunch of different fabrics that are like star, moon, or sun themed in the navy yellow and cream colorway, right? So let me show you some of them. So we have, this is kind of awkward to hold, but here we go. We've got this little print. We've got I love this one. This was kind of, I think this one's the first one I bought, and I was like, I don't know what to do with it, but I bought some yardage of it, and then I started adding to it, thinking, oh, that'll go with it, that'll go with it, and then suddenly I have this stack. So I have tons of that. I have this cotton and steel. It's a metallic shooting star. This one is a ruby star. See, they're all like very like celestial themed. There's moon and sun on white, and that is a metallic. I've got some navy spark, some cream spark. This sort of mustardy dot that looks kind of like stars. This is a Juicy Juice mustardy yellow. This is this is actually like a ombre fabric, but it's navy with kind of these gold splotches, which of course is starry. Then this is another kind of ombre fabric. It goes from like a cream to like a white with these metallic dots. Then we've got some complementary, this is from Golden Hour, which is a Ruby Star line. So we've got the blue stripes, then there's yellow suns, blue suns, kind of gray cream stripes. This sort of like navy, I don't know what you would call this pattern. I'm sure there's a name for it. I don't know what it is, but it's got these little checkers on it. Some solid kind of mustardy gold. This is, this was actually used as the binding in my embroidery flowers quilt, but it's got a gold metallic accent in some of the X's. We've got this sun print. Some of them are smiling. More of that navy spark. Oops. This one is just a gold star on a blue. Here's more of that shooting star from Cotton and Steel. Here's more of Golden Hour, more of, some of these came from my mom's stash after I shopped her stash, which is why there's like this print and then this print and there's the same, you know what I mean? So I just kind of added. And then we've got the yellow sun. This one is a ruby star, like a more teal blue sun and stars. This print again, and then this one. So they're all kind of one big hodgepodge mishmash collection of this colorway and theme. And so that's why I was going for a sampler pattern, because what's a sampler but like a big hodgepodge mishmash of your fabric. You can tell I'm feeling very samplery, right? So I've got my acid trip sampler. I've got that sampler. I like samplers. I don't know where that sort of like craving for that style of quilt came from, but recently I've been on a sampler kick, so I'm just gonna ride that wave. Okay, that's it. That's everything. Just a quick summary. So for next time, this will be put together and off the wall. These I will start on the navy or the blue colorways. I'm gonna do my next block for my acid trip sampler, and then I'm gonna try and start both of those other two quilts, both the Stars Hollow and then my favorite color is Moda sampler. Yeah, I don't think that's undoable. Like I said, I will have gone to the International Quilt Festival by the time we have the next update. So if you're at all curious about that, definitely come back and check it out. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you very much. I know not everybody stays until the end. They just want to see whips and then they leave, which is fine. But if you're still here, thank you for still being here and hanging out with me. And that's everything I have to share with you today. So, in the meantime, we will have Thanksgiving here in the US. So if you celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you have a wonderful time with your family. Safe travels, good weather, good food, all that jazz. Halloween was yesterday, so I hope that you had an eventful and fun and safe Halloween if you celebrated. And I will see you guys at the end of November. All right? Happy stitching, happy quilting, happy creating. Be safe, be happy, be healthy. And I will see you guys next month.